A farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop. But the one who plants generously will get a generous crop. In other words, his principle is we reap what we you can't go out and buy you a $10 bag of grass seed. And you got a yard that needs 100 pounds of grass seed. And you spread your 1 pound of grass seed and get upset when you go outside and most of your yard is bare because God gave a harvest to what you sowed. You can't be a hater. One who's always talking about folk and putting other folk down and then ask folk to love on you because what you're going to get back is what you've. Somebody's getting the principle now. You can't spend 2 minutes calling yourself a friend of God and you do drive-bys when you want to spend some time seeing God, and then when the stuff gets rough in life and you start crying out. You can't go to somebody you doing a drive-by with and expect them to give you their undivided attention to bring you comfort in the midst of your storm, peace in the midst of your storm, you comfort in the midst of your storm. You can't ask him to do what you are not willing to do yourself if you're not having sown time with God. It's hard to get time with God. You got to spend some time getting to know your friend. So Paul reminds them that what you're going to reap is what you sow. Folk come to church and we got this bad habit of coming to church to get something. Yeah, we want to get. But you can't get from church if you're not willing to sow into church. It can't be that hit and miss kind of support. I used to ask people sometimes, well, if our church had to survive on the manner in which you support the ministry of the church, what would happen when somebody dies in your family, when somebody's sick in your family, based upon the support you give? I ain't gonna be here long, so I'm just saying I want to use this for a moment. Last Sunday, Paul was sitting in that seat. And the band was playing, and most of y'all, if you're like me, you don't know music, you couldn't tell whether he was playing stuff or not because he got these other folk up here who can fill in from time to time, but he was there. Today he's lying in a hospital bed fighting for his life. We got to learn how to sow some life seed in the folk because we don't know what their tomorrow is going to be. You can't say, I'm going to tell them about Jesus next week. I'm going to tell them when the time is right. Every time is right to sow some seed of life in Jesus Christ. And he didn't save us for us to keep it to ourselves. We ought to be generous with the seed of salvation. We ought to let everybody know about the love of God in Jesus Christ. If you don't do it yourself, invest your gifts somewhere where it's being done so that you can participate, be engaged in keeping the main thing, winning the lost to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. We got to stop waiting till folk deserve something. Because God's love, God's grace is unmerited. He doesn't extend grace when we deserve it. He extends grace because that's who he is. We going to represent him. We got to start being who he's called us to be.